Hi, it's your favorite math professor here, Dr. Tarcia Hubert, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about combining like terms, alright? And before we can talk about combining like terms, we have to understand what are like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variable and the same exponent. Okay, variables are your letters, X, Y, Z, R. X is the most commonly used variable, but any letter can represent a variable, alright? So we're looking for the same variable and the same exponent. If they have the same variable and the same exponent, then they can be combined together. So let's look at some examples. Okay, in this first example, we're going to simplify 3x plus 2 plus 5x plus 4. And first we have to understand that our terms are separated by plus and minus signs. So in this particular example, we have 4 terms. 3x is 1, 2 is 1, 5x is 1, and 4 is 1. But what we want to do is we want to find the like terms and we want to combine them together. So the like terms are the terms that have the same variable and the same exponent. So in this particular example, our like terms are going to be the 3x. And I'm writing them in parentheses so you can see that I'm combining these two together. So the 3x and the 5x are like terms. And then the ones that don't have any variable, those are also considered like terms. We call those constant terms. So the 2 and the 4 are also like terms. So I'm going to combine the 3x and the 5x, and I'm going to combine the 2 and the 4. 3x plus 5x, you just add the numbers together. That's 3 plus 5, which is 8. So that's 8x, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So that becomes 8x plus 6. Now I cannot combine the 8x and the 6 because they don't have the same variable and the same exponent. So this right here will be our final answer, 8x plus 6. In this second example, we're going to combine or simplify 4x squared plus 3x minus 7 plus 6x squared minus 2x plus 5. Now it looks like just a whole bunch of gibberish, but these are terms. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. Remember, each term is separated by a plus or minus sign. And so what we want to do is we want to simplify it. We want to make it look a little bit easier, a little bit simpler. So we're going to take the things that have the same variable and the same exponent, and we're going to combine them together. And so first of all, the 4x squared and the 6x squared, and I'm underlining them as I go through them so I can know that I've already taken care of that term. So I'm going to combine the 4x squared and the 6x squared. And then the 3x and the minus 2x, those have the same variable and the same exponent, and so I'm going to combine those. Now notice that that 2x had a minus in front of it, and I kept that minus in front of that 2x. So whenever you have a minus in front of a term, you want to keep it in front of that term. And then notice the ones that don't have a variable, the minus 7 and the plus 5, I'm going to combine those together. And also that 7 had a minus in front of it, I'm going to keep that minus in front of that 7, okay? And when I separate the terms, I always put plus signs in between those parentheses. But if there's a minus in front of the number, I have to keep it in front of that number, alright? So then we combine 4x squared plus 6x squared, which gives us 10x squared. We combine the 3x minus 2x, which ends up giving us 1x. And we don't write 1 in front of it, we just write x, okay? And then the negative 7 plus 5, when you combine those, that gives you a minus 2. And so once you combine and simplify that, you're left with 10x squared plus x minus 2. Nothing can be combined here because none of those terms have the same variable and the same exponent. And so that would be how you would simplify that problem. Alright, let's look at one more. Okay, I actually have 2 more examples because I want us to look at 2 different types of problems. In this next one, example 3, we're going to simplify 6x plus 4y minus 3z plus 2x minus 7y plus 5z plus 8 minus x plus y minus 2. Now I know this one is long, and that's the reason we want to simplify, to make it a little bit simpler. And so what we want to do is we want to combine all of our like terms together. So if you notice, there are 3 different variables. We have x, we have y, and we have z. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine all of the x's together. So we're going to start with 6x. So that's 1x, and then we also have 2x. So we're going to add 2x to that. And then we also have this minus x right here. And notice how I'm underlining them as I'm going through them. That way I can keep up with what I've already taken care of, alright? Now I want to combine my y's. I have 4y here, minus 7y, and plus y. That takes care of all my y's. And now I want to do my z's. So I have a minus 3z. Remember, you keep that minus sign in front. A positive 5z, so plus 5z. And that takes care of all of the z's. And now you want to combine your constant terms. So we have 8 and minus 2. Those are our constant terms, meaning they don't have a variable associated with them. Alright, so now once you have them all grouped together, then you just simplify it. 6x plus 2x minus x, that's 6 plus 2, which is 8. Minus 1 is 7. That becomes 7x. With your y's, you have 4 minus 7 plus 1. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So that becomes a minus 2y. With your z's, you have negative 3 plus 5. That becomes a positive 2z. And then with your constant terms, you have 8 minus 2, which is a positive 6. And there are no more like terms, so that would be your answer simplified, where you've combined all of your like terms. Okay, in this last example, example 4, we're going to simplify 5x squared y plus 3xy squared minus 7x squared y plus 4xy squared plus 6. Now notice there are multiple variables here, but there are also multiple exponents. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms here. 5x squared y is a term, 3xy squared is a term, minus 7x squared y is a term, 4xy squared is a term, and 6 is a term, because our terms are separated by plus and minus signs. So this one is a little tricky because you really have to pay attention to the variable and the exponent in order to determine which ones are like terms. So we're going to combine our like terms, starting with the first one, the 5x squared y. And so we're going to be looking for another term that has an x squared and a y in it. Now notice the 3, it has an x and a y squared. The y is squared, but the x isn't. We want the one that has the x squared, but the y not squared. And that's going to be the minus 7x squared y. So we're going to combine the 5x squared y with the minus 7x squared y. And I'm going to underline those to let myself know I've already taken care of those. Alright. Next, I'm going to combine the 3xy squared, and I'm looking for a term where the y is squared this time, but not the x. And in this case, it's going to be the 4xy squared. Alright, and so the last term we have is the 6 is a constant term, and there is no other constant term. 6 is the only constant term. And so now what we do is we combine those terms. So 5x squared y minus 7x squared y, all you do is subtract the 7 from the 5. 5 minus 7 is negative 2. So that becomes negative 2x squared y. And then the 3xy squared plus 4xy squared, that's going to be 7xy squared. And then you just bring the 6 down because there's nothing to combine it with. And so your simplified answer to that will be negative 2x squared y plus 7xy squared plus 6. That's your final answer. And this is about as complicated as it gets because you have to really pay attention to the variables and the exponents. Now, if you would like to practice this concept of combining like terms, you can sign into a free course that I've created where you can go in and practice, and it will give you immediate feedback. Read the description on how to get into the free course, and then look for the assignment called Combining Like Terms. Alright, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments. And thank you again for watching. And if these videos are helping you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.